So it's been a few months since my novel Oxford Soju Club has been available on NetGalley for request, and now it has a fair number of reviews, 82 reviews on NetGalley and 52 reviews on Goodreads. And I really appreciate every single person who took time to read it and give their thoughts. Still kind of feels surreal to me that people are investing that much time into my book. But what's also interesting is that I'm starting to see some patterns in the feedback, one of which is that a lot of people who read this book as a spy thriller or expected it to be a spy thriller were a bit disappointed, it seems. And that is totally fair. This book is about spies, has a lot of elements of a spy thriller, but for me, the category is secondary to this book's primary category, which is that it's an immigrant novel. So as I suspected before, people who read this book as an immigrant novel or expected an immigrant novel seem to be much more satisfied. Now, that doesn't mean that the people who read this book as a spy thriller did not appreciate the narrative around immigrant identities. In fact, it's one of the things that many of them have found themselves to be pleasantly surprised by. All this contemplation around identities, these ideas of the spy thriller as a metaphor for all the masks that immigrants wear to survive in our adopted societies. But what I learned through all of this is the importance of how a book is framed, because the framing of the book sets an expectation, and that expectation drives a lot of the reading experience. And it's very important for how well your book will do because, while the spy thriller category is popular, it's no use if people are picking this up thinking it's a spy thriller, and then because they find themselves disappointed, it generates less than ideal word of mouth or no word of mouth. And though the immigrant novel or the Asian American or Asian Canadian literature category may be a narrower niche than spy thrillers, that framing establishes an expectation that actually complements the reading experience the best, which leads to more likelihood of positive word of mouth. So now that I've confirmed my hypothesis that this book would resonate much more as an immigrant novel, a novel about the Asian diaspora, that's a huge plus because that gives me absolute clarity about what the messaging should be when I go out there and promote this book. In conclusion, if you like immigrant narratives or Asian American, Asian Canadian literature, this book is definitely for you. If you like spy thrillers, I think there's a chance that you might not like it as much. You may still like it. And if you're into both, I'm going to humbly guess that you're going to love my book. I think so. I hope so.